Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 6 of our inventory video series. We're going to look in this video at implementing the stackable item functionality to the inventory. So we're going to have a look in the back in the first person blueprint and just make sure that we're in the add to inventory function. So up until this point, the functionality we have in there assumes that we only have non-stackable items. The next step is to look to see if we can add stackable items. So from the branch where we check for stackability, we're going to add a for each loop with a break. Now the reason that we're going to do a break is that we are going to set up a condition that will stop the for each loop actually looping through its operation. So the array that we're going to check is going to be the data inventory. So game instance and get inventory. And we can wire that straight into the array. Now what we're going to be checking is the data array index by index. Is there an entry that shares the pickup enumerator type that is the same as the hit pickup actor that we've just picked up? So from the array element, what we're going to do is we're going to break item data so that we can see the pickup type. And from there, we're going to perform an equal enum. Is it going to be equal to the pickup type of the pickup that we just collected? So we're going to get the hit pickup. We're going to get item data. And we're also going to break item data. And from here, we're going to wire in the next pickup type. So from this comparison operand, we're going to run a branch check, an if check, and that's going to be executed from the loop body. And how this is going to work is if we find an object within the inventory which has the same pickup type as the object that we just picked up, we are going to update that index. So we're going to use a set array lm. Now set array lm is quite similar to the add operand, but we can specify a very specific index to add it to. So the index in this case is going to be the array index from the for each loop, because remember this goes index by index. So if we find one that is correct, we're going to be changing the index that we're currently looking at. The target array is simply going to be the actual data inventory. So get inventory. And we can hook that right in. The next thing to specify is the item. And this is where we actually specify how we're going to modify this item. So we need to get another instance of another reference to our inventory up here. So Control C, Control V up here. And we're going to get a reference. Now the specific array that we're going to use is the one that we're currently looking at from the for each loop with break. We're going to get the item data or break the item data from that get operand. To create a new entry, we need to make item data. So again, we can hook these all up and across. The only one that we're not going to hook up is very similar to before, the quantity, because we need to specify what we're adding. So we're going to get the hit pickup again. We're going to get the amount to add, and we're going to add to the quantity. Once we've done that, we can specify the new item in the array. Once that's done, as we did before, we're going to refresh inventory. We need to make sure that we firstly get our inventory widget. And we're also going to destroy actor again. Which will be the hit pickup. Now once that's done, to be able to break the loop, we're going to have another variable of type Boolean, which is going to be called foundInArray. Now how this works is, once we've found an object in the array, we're going to set it here to be foundInArray. This is then going to loop back all the way to the break input of the for each loop with break, basically specifying that that loop operation does not need to keep looping through. So we can stop it from having to go through all items within the array. The completed node is going to link to a branch. This branch handles what happens if once we've looped all the way through and we didn't find the same item in the array. So we're going to drop foundInArray there, and we're just going to simply say if we didn't find it, then we perform the original add to array function down here. Because if we didn't find it in the array, then it doesn't already exist in the inventory array, which means that we can add it as a new index. And just to make sure that we can keep using this function for other stackable items, we need to make sure that we reset this foundInArray back to false somewhere. At the minute, it's not being reset. But what we'll do is, before we even get to the check here, we will just do a cursory reset of back to false, and that will allow us to re-loop through. Okay, so let's compile that, and just a quick once through again. So when we pick up an object, we cast to make sure that it is of the pickup type. We get the item data from the pickup and ask, is it stackable? If it's true, we're going to loop through each item that already exists in the data array to see if there is an entry which matches the pickup type of the hit pickup object that we've just collected. If it's true, then we're going to reset or adapt the value that exists in that array index, and that's done by simply getting what's already there and simply adding an amount to it. We then refresh the inventory, destroy the actor, and we set this foundInArray variable to true, which basically allows us, once we get back to the for each loop with break and once it completes, to bypass and simply exit the function. If we didn't find what we were looking for, then foundInArray will still be false, which means when we get back to the for each loop with break, the completed will fire as false, which will allow us to add the new item to an index. So we'll wrap that one up there. Let's double check and test it first to make sure it works. So for this, we're going to need a couple more instances of the stackable item, just so that we can see that this actually works. Okay, so if we test that now, we can collect 1 item and 2 items. We get our health pack and our ammo pack. You can see that it's pulling through the correct information and the correct amounts. If we add another to our inventory and another, you can see that it adds to the same index array and ups the count so that it's all adding to the same area. So that wraps that up there nicely. In the next videos, we'll have a look at setting up how we can get the item menu to pop up correctly once we've clicked the correct array index. We'll also have a look at the toss item functionality as well.